Week 1 at the Seahawks, I have us winning, and the reason I do is because I think it's the first game for like Sam Darnold, Cooper Cup, and we've had a good track record winning in Seattle, so I have us winning that one. Um,
Okay.
Week 2, we have the Saints in New Orleans. The Saints are going to be one of the worst teams.
If they lose to the freaking Saints, they should
Yeah,
just
I
shut it
know,
down.
I
You're
know.
right. They got to win that game.
Mm, Week 3, we have the Cardinals. This is where I have the first loss in the home opener, and the reason is I think we'll split with Arizona, but I think after 2 wins, I think maybe we have our first L here. We bounce back and beat Jacksonville.
Yeah.
Um, on a short week, I think the Rams. It's just gonna be. I think it's gonna be too much on a Thursday night. I think I think we'll be able to compete with them, but I have us losing that game.
3-2.
And I have us losing to Tampa, and the only reason is because like we barely beat them when Tampa was without like Mike Evans and Chris Godwin. So I
It's
think
true.
this time they get us.
So we're 3-3
Um,
at this point.
3-3.
Okay.
Here's where, unfortunately for Niner fans, I think the wheels start to fall off.
Mm.
So I think we'll beat the Falcons on Sunday night at home. We'll be four
Four
and
and three.
three.
Okay.
But we lose to the Texans because I think D'Amico Ryans is better than Kyle Shanahan. The Texans are just a better team right now.
Stroud's better than Purdy, perhaps.
Yeah, I think they're
I don't
kind
want
of
to put
in
words in your mouth, Mr. That was
I
me. That
think
was
they're
me
kind.
editorializing on your point. You're doing a great job, by the way.
Yeah, I mean, I think they're in like the same tier.
Sure. Fair enough.
Kind of. I mean, I'd take Stroud, but
Fair enough.
I think that
His
now we
season
have.
wasn't great last year. That's true. Neither
Yeah,
one. Yeah.
so then we have the Giants, and this is where I think Niner fans are going to be like, "What the hell are you doing?" But I actually have us losing this game, and
Yeah.
the reason is because Russell Wilson has our number. I'm just not going to go against history. And that MetLife turf is really bad, so
That's a
I am a bit
great point. And it's in the Niners' head, too. Like, they're like,
2020
yep,
week 2 at the Jets. Nick
correct.
Bosa tears his ACL, right?
Right.
So
Also,
unfortunately,
Jimmy
I
went
had
down that game as well. I believe it was
yeah,
Jimmy did.
he had
But
the high ankle
they played their
sprain.
back-to-back weeks, right? Giants and Jets. I'm sorry. It's been a while.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
Yeah.
that. So we're going from East Coast to West Coast. We have the Rams. I mean, we could split with the Rams, but I think it's just bad timing when we play the Rams both games. So I think we're gonna lose again to the Rams. Uh,
Jeez. So that
so
means what? They're 4 and
four
5 at
and
this point?
six, four and
4 and 6?
six.
4 and 6.
Then we got the Cardinals at home. I think we'll win that one. We'll split. We'll
His
split with
season's on the
them.
line here. Yep.
Yeah. Um,
And
we'll
Call of
beat the
Duty's
Pan.
out, so Kyler's struggling at this point.
Yeah, I think Kyler's going to be a lot worse in like November, December than
And
he
he's
will
going to
in
be running a
September.
lot next year. I wonder if he actually stays healthy. He's kind of small.
Good
Yep.
point.
Yep.
I think we'll beat the
5 and
Panthers at
6.
home. We'll beat
Sorry.
the Panthers. That's our 12th game. We're
6 and 6.
6-6,
Okay.
and I have us losing in Cleveland in November. It's probably gonna November 30th at the Browns. It's a bad weather game potentially,
10
and
a.m. start.
we know how bad Brock is in bad weather for the most part.
Kyle's
Also,
1-9 against Jim Schwartz.
I was exactly gonna say that.
Yeah, sorry.
Jim
You're
Schwartz.
killing it.
It
Yep.
it's we're coming off a bye. It's gonna be, and it's right before a bye. We're playing 13 straight weeks. It's gonna be a hard one. Then we come out the bye. I think we'll beat the Titans. We'll be
Yeah.
set. So we're 7-7.
Okay.
Um, the Colts. We should win that game. We should. But guess what? I have bad news for you Niner fans. We haven't beaten the Colts since 2001.
Wow.
That's the
Interesting.
last time we've beaten them.
It's
So
interesting.
I'm just not gonna go against history on this one. We should beat them, but I think it's gonna be one of those games where Purdy throws a pick in the fourth quarter. I think it's gonna. I like
It's going to be an interesting test of the Niners' run defense because it's like Anthony Richardson and
and JT.
yeah, I mean that's a really tough 1-2
It
punch.
it
Prize Picks will give you $50 when you play your first $5 lineup. Win or lose, you'll get $50 for playing. Use promo code Cohn, COHN, and download the app now.
it's I think we are the better team, but I it just think of it's just something
It's
to
another
think
road
about.
game.
It's on
They're
the
well
road.
coached.
Then we have the Bears.
DeForest Buckner against Ben Barch. Sorry. Yeah. Yeah.
Exactly. I mean I think, and the reason I say we lose this game is because like last year I thought for sure we were gonna beat the Vikings and Sam Darnold. And when we lost that game, then I looked closely and I was like, oh, the Niners haven't beaten the Vikings on the road since the '90s. So I'm just kind of using that like logic here. Um,
I'm also not giving up on Anthony Richardson. I mean, look at the quarterback who just won the Super Bowl. I still think Anthony Richardson can do a lot of the things that Jalen Hurts does in terms of like running the ball and throwing deep and like hitting the occasional RPO. But maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. I still think there's potential
his
there with Richardson.
accuracy has a lot of
And he
his
turns the ball
accuracy.
over way too much. But like, yeah, maybe with a
Yeah.
little bit of experience, he'll stop sucking so much. I don't know. His talent. Anyway,
So
Bears.
after this Colts game, I think the Bears, I think the season basically is on line. We're 7-8, but I think the issue I have with the Bears is that yes, I think we have to see it to believe it with Chicago, but I think playing them in
Late.
games set late is much worse than playing them early. If we played them early, I would have said we win, but because it's late in the season, I have that as an L. So we go to 7-9, and I think at this point when we play the Seahawks, our season's basically over. We don't have much to play for. It's just going to be, and I think we lose that one because it's like we're 7-9. It's better to just lose and get a
The
better
pick.
draft pick.
Yeah.
And
We both have them
I
getting
think
finishing 7-10.
I have seven
I
and
actually
ten,
like your
and
predictions better than mine. I like the way you laid it out week by week. It made a lot of sense.
yeah,
They
I
start
was
off
looking.
3-1, right? And
Yeah,
then finish 7-10. I could actually see that happening.
and the reason is because I think Kyle's not a good coach. I was never a Kyle Shanahan fan, just like you. I think he's I've called him the biggest failure of all time, or the buffote, because he's costed us 3 Super Bowls.
Yeah. Yeah. That's
and
his
and
legacy.
it's heartbreaking because like I've been a fan since like right before the Jim Harbaugh era. So 7 NFC Championship games,
Mm.
no rings to show for it, all those playoff wins, and also I think we're gonna be 7-10, but I have a feeling that like 6 or 7 of the losses are gonna be games that we should have won.
Right. Really close games. And like
It's
what we
gonna
saw
be
with this
one
team
score.
last year is they really crumpled late in close games.
It's the one score games. I think we're gonna have. I think it's very possible we're like 7-10, but with like a pretty high, with like a high point differential for a 7 team.
I see that too. And then like probably yards per play on offense is high, yards per play on defense is low, just like last year. But what
It's
happened?
either
And then they'll have a bunch of excuses and tell themselves that it was injuries or this
it's
play or
gonna
that play when really
it
it's the same thing. It's one score
no,
games. They were good when they were blowing teams out.
it's gonna be like one of those things where it's like somebody gets hurt and they just miss the rest of the game, but for some reason they can't adjust. Like last year against the Seahawks, Nick Bosa got hurt in the middle of the game. We win the game if he's there, but when he's not there, the wheels fall off, and
Or
maybe
like
we just
anytime Debo would get hurt mid game.
exactly.
Right.
Well, to be fair, I mean Debo did get hurt mid game in the divisional against Green Bay, and we found a way to win that in the rain. So that's
That's true.
at
You're
least a
right.
good. That's a good.
You know your stuff,
That's
MR.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks for thanks for inviting me on. But yeah, I think 7-10. But again, I'm picking more in terms of the floor in the sense like it's definitely closer to the floor. If a lot of these like historical curses don't mean anything, I think we can easily get to like 10 or 11 wins for sure and get a spot in the playoffs. But I'm just thinking of like Like, I'm just not going to go against history like when I saw us lose to Sam Darnold in Minnesota.
Well, Kyle and Brock both will have a lot to prove in one-score games this season. Thanks for bringing that up. Great call. Please call back in anytime.
Yeah, thank you, man.
All right.
If we are better in the one score games, that's really the one thing I want to see this year. I don't care. I know it's a transition year. I don't care if we make the Super Bowl or of course I want to, but I want us to be more better in those close games.
Right. Yeah, because this team isn't built to blow teams out anymore. Not with Brock Purdy making $8 billion a year, give or take. MR, great stuff. Thanks for calling in.
Thanks, buddy.